All right. Welcome everyone to JT Squad's Entertainment Facebook Live. I'm your host, Tony Tones. Today I'm going to be with Johnny T.
Hi.
And today's edition of our Facebook Live, it's called Money in the Bank Prediction. We're going to be predicting what's going to be happening tomorrow night on Money in the Bank's pay-per-view, Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And today's Facebook Live is brought to you by Pharmacy by DBI. It is your source for men and women's beauty supplies. So if you guys want to check it out, the link is on the description. You guys feel more than happy to click on this link, and it'll prompt you to certain different stuff that they carry in this website. So like I said, our Facebook Live today, we're gonna be talking about predictions for Money in the Bank, which will be tomorrow night. It's going to be an odd one. It's from actually the Titan Towers or WWE headquarters. It's a place that I really, really, really love. We lived close by, so we should drive by that place pretty much on a regular basis. So it's going to be an interesting but weird pay-per-view. There's some cool stuff that's going to be happening in that pay-per-view. Also, very unique stuff. The Money in the Bank matches are going to be going at the same time, simultaneously, the men and women. And they actually, as we all know, the match is going to end up in the roof of the WWE headquarters. So, without further ado, let's just start with our predictions and talk about the card itself. On the pre-show, it was announced that it was going to start kicking off with Jeff Hardy versus Cesaro. This match, for me, actually, it's a good test for Jeff Hardy. We're gonna see, what he still got left in the tank, and I think that's WWE's mindset when it comes to this match. I see Jeff Hardy winning this match It's gonna be a short match, not that long, but it's gonna be a match that's gonna be testing Jeff Hardy. It's gonna be testing, what he still got left. What he still got left to offer to the WWE universe and to offer, the company itself. And this is either hit or miss for Jeff Hardy. So with this match, Hardy versus Cesaro, I'll go with Hardy. How about you?
Well, I agree with you, but I think it's going to be like maybe half the average of how long a match is. Because, Jeff Hardy is a veteran. Cesaro is sort of new, I guess. Like 5 years in the business. And Jeff Hardy just returned, so I think I'm going with Jeff Hardy as well to win this match.
Just to correct you on that one, actually, Cesaro's been in the business for over 15 years. It's just,
Okay, I think
he's been in WWE itself for close to 10 years. As a wrestler, he's been almost 15 years, but I know exactly what you mean. The other kickoff match is Truth versus MVP. This match, we all know MVP is going to win this match, especially with the heel push he's going to be getting. We all know that they're preparing this new stable that he's going to be creating. So this is just one of those cheap heat matches. This is just to get MVP some cheap heat. So, Truth versus MVP, that's going to be MVP all the way. How about for you?
I agree. But I think it might be a squash match. Like, MVP will squash R-Truth. But also, I think MVP's faction might feud with Seth Rollins' faction.
I don't think so, because remember, MVP is going to be coming in as a heel. We all know that his best work is as a heel. So I don't see him coming in as a face and being...
Yeah, but it could be heel versus heel, too.
Not really, because why would they want to do that when they already have a top heel faction on... with Seth Rollins and all these people,
Yeah,
it makes no sense right now to put them together, in a feud against each other. I think this is a cheap heat match. MVP is just going to get a ton of heat for this match, and it's good for MVP and the faction that, he wants to create. So another match that kind of, caught my eye, and I think it's going to be, to me, one of my favorite matches is going to be that Bayley versus Tamina match. A lot of people are rooting for Tamina, but I think this is the match that's actually going to catapult Bayley to even being a better heel. Bailey has been doing a hell of a job as a heel in my eyes. Bailey has been doing her job. You know, she's getting that hate towards her. Plus, there's also that X factor with Sasha Banks, which they eventually get into feuding. But this time the tables are going to be turned because it'll be Bailey as a heel and Sasha as a babyface. So I see Bailey winning the match, but it's going to be a good match. I think Tamina is a tough opponent for Bailey, but she's going to make Bailey look like $1,000,000 anyway in that ring. That's my prediction on that match. So Tamina versus Bailey or Bailey versus Tamina, Bailey retains in my book. How about you?
Well, I think Tamina is not going to win, but I think right after the match, Sasha Banks might come up from behind and just start beating her up, or Sasha Banks can run into the Money in the Bank matchup.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I had somebody throw that theory at me too, having Sasha Banks replacing one of the contestants on the Money in the Bank match. Let's see how that plays off, because I honestly think Bailey needs to win this match. You know, I think that's gonna make her more of a solid heel if she wins that match, and also it's gonna be the ignition to start that feud with Sasha Banks. I think that's what's gonna happen. That's I think that's pretty much what needs to happen in order for Bailey to keep on that strong run she has as a heel. Another match that, to me, it's gonna be a good match, and I think this match could actually steal the show, and it's the title match between McIntyre and Seth Rollins.
Definitely.
I actually think Drew is gonna retain. I think it's too soon to take the strap away from Drew. Drew has showed so much potential as a champion. I just hate the fact that there is no crowd, because that crowd can make it a solid point of where McIntyre stands with the WWE Universe. But unfortunately, with the COVID-19 situation, we all know there's no crowds for him to actually feed off, or so we can see how over he is or he's not. Yes, I do understand ratings are trash right now when it comes to Raw, but I think Drew McIntyre brings a net factor to all of this, and I think Drew McIntyre is going to do a good job as champion. I just hope they did not take the strap off of him so quick. Seth Rollins is still one of my favorite wrestlers in the WWE roster right now, but I think feuding with Drew as Drew the champion is the right way to go. I don't think they should, take that strap off of Drew as of yet. Let's see what happens when the crowd starts coming in, see who cheers who, and see if he's actually over. But I think it'll be a bad decision to take that strap away from Drew at this time. That's my opinion. So my prediction, Drew McIntyre retains. How about yours?
I think he's gonna retain as well, but I think it might be a disqualification, because we haven't seen the AOP in a while now. So the AOP could come back and beat up Drew. Then it'll be a 1-on-4 situation, because Buddy Murphy. But I still think Drew's gonna retain.
All right. The other championship match between Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt. Honestly, and this is me playing favorites, I want Bray to win the title again. I think no justice was done to Bray when they had Goldberg beat him for the title. I think he should have never ever lost the title to Bill Goldberg. I think WWE dropped the ball on that one, and I hope they actually give him the title back. I do not like Braun Strowman as a champion. I've never been a Braun Strowman fan. I'm sorry for Braun Strowman fans out there, but I am not a Braun Strowman's fan. Unfortunately, I think he has a lot to work on. I think Bray Wyatt deserves to win that match and deserves to have that title again. Bray Wyatt is actually, to me, is the top heel in WWE right now, alongside Seth Rollins. I think Bray Wyatt is our next Undertaker. Whether we like it or not, this man the way he could transition from one character to the other, it's just out of this world. So I just hope WWE doesn't drop the ball again with him, and I hope they put that strap right around his waist again. That is my opinion. I'm going with Bray Wyatt on this one.
To be honest, I disagree with you. I think Braun might win it. Considering that he just got the title, and he hasn't got like a real title shot in forever because Baron Corbin attacked him on his last title shot.
I don't know. I think he's not ready to be a champion. I don't like him personally as a champion.
I think he has good mic skills though.
It's just like he reminds me of when Big Daddy Cool Diesel won the title, which I wasn't a Diesel fan. I was a Kevin Nash NWO version fan, but I was not a Big Daddy Cool Diesel fan. And I think this big man as a champion, I really don't like him. I think Bray Wyatt should win that title again. If it's not in this pay-per-view, I hope he wins it sometime soon because no justice was done to him having him drop that title against Bill Goldberg and the way he dropped that title. Another match that actually, to me, could also steal the show is the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team title match for the SmackDown titles. New Day versus Miz and Morrison versus The Forgotten versus the Lucha House Party. I think those guys can actually steal the show. Eventually, I think...
Oh, The Forgotten is the Forgotten Sons.
Yes. I think, actually, the New Day will retain. I think. Or, we all know the rumors have been going around that they're actually going to split the New Day. I wouldn't be surprised if Xavier Woods shows up and costs them the titles. But if it's not with an outside interference from, like, let's say, Woods betraying them or something like that, I just see them retaining. I don't know why, but I have that feeling that they're just going to retain the title. The other way WWE could go is just giving it back to Miz and Morrison. I think they did a hell of a job again as tag team champions. I'm not going to lie to you. But it's either between them two. It's either Miz and Morrison, but I'm leaning towards the New Day again.
I think the Forgotten Sons of Miz and Morrison can take it. Because the Forgotten Sons are, like, they just came to the business from NXT. And the New Day have become tag team champions so many times. And also, I think Big E could betray them. I think he could go back to singles.
To me, I think WWE is not going to make big changes until they actually have a crowd in their arenas, because I think WWE's creative team, WWE's talent, feed off a lot of that crowd vibe, how the crowd reacts, and I think that's one of the issues that WWE is having right now. I don't put them at fault for the drop in ratings. I think a lot of talent has lost that burning passion because they don't have that crowd to either cheer them or boo them. That's like fuel to their fire. Without having this crowds out there, writers, talent, all of them are lacking that motivation. That's my opinion on what's going on with the ratings and stuff like that. But the very first thing I want to talk about, the Money in the Bank matches itself, is the women's side of it, which is Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, Dana Brooks, Lacey Evans, and Carmella. My pick, I've said it since day one, is Lacey Evans. I know a lot of people want to go with Shayna Baszler. I know WWE did a documentary on her. I know WWE is really big on her. But I think Lacey Evans is the sleeper here. I think Lacey Evans has proved to the WWE's powers to be that she could draw. She could actually, and she also could wrestle. This woman is big when it comes to charity work. People love her everywhere she goes. Little girls. She's like a tougher version of the old Bailey we saw with the hugs and all this stuff. That's the way I see Lacey. So in my opinion, women's Money in the Bank winner should be Lacey Evans. It would not surprise me if Baszler wins it. But my heart and gut tells me Lacey Evans.
Okay, first of all, I've been saying Lacey Evans would win the Money in the Bank since day one. Second of all, I want Lacey Evans to win, but I think they're going to give it to Shayna just because of how she lost to Becky Lynch. She lost to a roll-up, it's like, whatever you call it. She lost to a roll-up, and she hasn't had really big matches ever since.
But if you cannot go by the way she lost, you got to go by the way of the person who's over or who's not over. I think that's what WWE is looking at. You cannot say she's over or not over. We're not having a crowd reaction in the building. That's my point of earlier. If you don't have that crowd reaction, it's not gonna work. That's why I don't see it working like other times. Like you don't know how the crowd is reacting, so we cannot say X or Y wrestlers being over. It's actually over. So you're not having all these reactions, all these pops. So that's why I think WWE should go with Lacey Evans when it comes to the women's Money in the Bank side.
You're basically kind of saying, like, you can't tell if, like, you know how Roman Reigns won the Rumble and everyone was booing him?
Exactly.
You couldn't tell if he was over or not if there was no crowd.
Exactly. So, like, there's no reaction. There's not that emotional connection, fan and performer. You don't have that. So, in my opinion, actually, I think Lacey Evans has the best shot of winning it based on that. Based on that, this woman does so many charity work. Little girls love her. Women love her. It's ridiculous how much people like Lacey. So I think Lacey should be the women's Money in the Bank winner. That's my humble opinion. On the men's side, we have Daniel Bryan versus Mysterio versus Black versus Corbin versus AJ Styles. This one I gotta get ready for this one because my opinion is AJ Styles has to win this Money in the Bank match. After the match he had with Taker in WrestleMania, he took this time off or whatever they did with him. He needs to win Money in the Bank. I think if he does not win it, to me, it's actually a slap in the face to AJ Styles. Because after what he went with The Undertaker, that program they had worked perfectly. The match, a lot of people criticized it. I kind of liked it. I kind of think, they put some good pieces together in that match. And I think that Taker match helped them a lot. So I think in the man's Money in the Bank match, AJ Styles should be our winner. They could go different ways. They could go with Alistair. They could go with Daniel. I wouldn't be surprised if they went with Daniel or Alistair Black. But I think the right choice should be AJ Styles. And I think the way they brought him back, how they dealt with his situation, I think that's what it meant. It meant he was destined to win that Money in the Bank match. Now, if he wins it, who is he cashing it on? That's going to be the big question. Whoever wins that match, who are they cashing it on? Because AJ Styles against, let's say, whoever wins Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman match, or the Seth versus Drew match, he could. To me, if Seth wins it and AJ wins it, that's going to be the match. Seth versus AJ. If Drew wins it, he'll probably cash it in on SmackDown. But it all depends. To me, this year the Money in the Bank is going to be a phenomenal one because the phenomenal AJ Styles is winning it. Nobody's changing my mind on that one.
I actually think Aleister Black. I want Aleister Black, and I think Aleister Black. Because AJ Styles has had so many big opportunities, let's think this. How many world titles has he had? Like 4 already in his career, when he's only been in here for about 4 years.
All right, again, you got to think about longevity. AJ Styles is a multiple world champion. TNA. He actually won X Division titles. All these things he's done. He is the proven wrestler. In him and Daniel Bryan are the most proven wrestlers in that Money in the Bank match. So if you was to go with the proven wrestler, the person that WWE can actually bet their money on in order to put either a person over, be the carpenter to that person, or actually make ratings better once all of this stuff starts to get back to normal with the COVID-19, all that stuff. The two choices are Daniel and AJ. You're not gonna come here. You cannot come here and say, okay, Alistair. Alistair, yes, great performer, great wrestler.
One of the best strikers in WWE right now.
Yeah, exactly, yes. But again, we do not know how the crowd is reacting to him in this situation. Him being in the Money in the Bank. Another time you saw a promo for the Money in the Bank, the first thing you hear is that crowd war. Mm-hmm. As a writer, as a producer, as an executive backstage, they go with that. Who's over? All right, this guy is over. They also go with merchandise and all this stuff. So without having all these people in the building, not having those crowds in there, again, it's affecting the product. It's affecting how wrestlers are being pushed. It's affecting matchups, because we do not know who the crowd is cheering for or who the crowd is, going to cheer for. So therefore, if WWE is smart, they want to go with the proven guys, a Daniel Bryan or AJ Styles. Same thing could happen in the tag team match. Why go with the Forgotten Sons when you have Miz and Morrison and the New Day in there?
The Forgotten Sons and Miz and Morrison were my 2 picks.
So it's like, to me, right now WWE have their hands tied when it comes to decision making. Mm-hmm. Why? Because of these situations. They don't know who the crowd is actually cheering for, or who is over, who's not over. They could just go by ratings. What's happening to the ratings? They on the ground. I think a lot of people like me do not like to watch it without a crowd in there.
I agree.
And I think that's hurting the product, not only for WWE. It's happening to AEW. It's happening to NXT. It's happening to Impact. It's happening to all these promotions who decided, to stay open, to stay in business during this time. So I think they actually, instead of, all right, I understand they're giving us an option, they're giving us a choice to watch something to take our minds out of what's going on. But if you think about the long run, about what's going on around it, I think they made some bad choices of keeping these shows going. If I was WWE or AEW or Impact, I would have gone with, for now, going with taped old shows on Mondays and Wednesdays until stuff, pretty much started getting back to normal, and they can actually bring in a real crowd into the building. That will help them, because watch, all these ratings are going to skyrocket once crowds go into the buildings. Once they're actually going to have people cheering, because that's the essence of wrestling. Like, I grew up in the attitude. Actually, I've been in wrestling. I've been watching wrestling since the golden era, since the 80s. I'm almost 40 right now. And I remember in the 80s, I, as a fan, used to feed off how the crowd would react in the shows. Like, every time that Hulk Hogan theme song will play, I'll rip my shirt off, I'll go crazy, I'll run around. And once I heard the crowd, I wanted to be part of the crowd. So I think that's what's hurting the business right now. But, without going too deep into this conversation, we have this pay-per-view that's going on, and they have great talent. Great talent in there right now. I think the pay-per-view could work with the format that they put it in. We just got to wait and see. Again, I think that what's hurting the product itself is the issue that we're having with no crowds in the buildings, in these matches, this echo, that's all of this is actually hurting the product itself. That is, again, my humble opinion. I think one of the things that actually will make ratings and people wanting to watch it, once those crowds start hitting the doors, start hitting the seats, and we tune in to a Monday Night Raw, to a Dynamite, to an Impact, to a NXT show, and we hear that roar of the crowd, that's going to get us back into it. That's one of the things that's hurting the business the most, in my humble opinion. I think WWE, are doing the best they can. So is AEW. So is Impact. AEW's putting some good stuff together. This broken Matt Hardy thing was great. I know we were supposed to be talking about Money in the Bank, but I wanted to expand a little bit about the business. You guys can actually sit down and watch that whole story with Matt Hardy and all that stuff. The golf cart thing kind of went a little bit overboard, but at least it's working. They making things work for them, but it's not work. It's hurting them on ratings, and also me as a fan. Again, I cannot wait to see those crowds in those shows, because I feed off the crowd as well. When I'm watching a match, I'm already used to the sound of the crowd. When the theme song hits, the crowd just goes crazy. Or when there's a running during a match, the crowd goes crazy. We don't have that, not right now. But, we got to give them props. We got to give WWE, AEW, NXT, Impact. We got to give them props for what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep our minds busy while all this pandemic is going on. So, we got to work with what we have. And that's what WWE is doing. And they're trying their best to put solid shows for us. So, just keep on supporting the sport that we love. I love professional wrestling. I've been a fan since I was 4 years old. I date back all the way to the Hulk Hogan red and yellow era in the 80s, to the Attitude, to the Ruthless Aggression, all the way to now the PG era.
Also to when
I've been a fan since I was a kid. This is the industry that I love, and I think things will get better eventually. You guys just have to keep on tuning in, giving them a chance, giving these performers a chance, because at the end of the day, with everything that's going on, they're trying to put a smile in our face. They're trying to keep our minds occupied with everything that's going on. So, just tune into that pay-per-view tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we'll be doing another live, another Facebook Live with the results. We'll probably pop in here and there during the pay-per-view itself. Also, please be safe. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Thank you for watching. Whoever watched, share this. Comment if you guys think we could do something a little bit different. But also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, JT Squads Entertainment. JT Squads Entertainment. That's us. We're going to be bringing you content on the weekly basis. We just here also to put on a smile on your face. We want y'all to be part of our family. We want to be part of your family. So with that being said, you guys have a good night. I'm Tony Tones, Johnny T. Peace out. Be safe. Stay safe. If you don't have to go out, stay home, please. Peace out.